So obviously by now, we all know what happened with TikTok, and obviously most of us have seen this message. The second paragraph in this says, "We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned." So he put this out here, and we know that the CEO of TikTok is going to be up there with the other tech bros at the inauguration. So we should already know and understand that something is brewing. Then, by golly geez, Trump comes in and saves the day, which is wild. It is wild. He comes in and saves the day. But I want to remind us all that even though he is a hero right now, he is the one that initially started all of this ban TikTok rhetoric back in 2020. So we're going to come back to his statement from today, but he is the reason why all of this is started. And like Shonda, another content creator said, "I'll be damned if I champion this man who put out the fire when he was the arsonist that started it." An executive order on addressing the threat posed by TikTok, August 2020. "By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, including the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, the National Emergencies Act, and Section 301 of Title III, United States Code, I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, find that additional steps must be taken to deal with the national emergency with respect to the information and communications technology and services supply chain declared in Executive Order 13873 of May 15, 2019, securing the information and communications technology and services supply chain, specifically the spread in the United States of mobile applications developed and owned by companies in the People's Republic of China, continues to threaten the national security, foreign policy, and the economy of the United States. At this time, action must be taken to address the threat posed by one mobile application in particular, TikTok." This executive order was put out in August of 2020. TikTok, a video sharing mobile application owned by the Chinese company ByteDance Limited, has reportedly been downloaded over 175 million times in the United States and over 1 billion times globally. TikTok automatically captures vast swaths of information from its users, including internet and other network activity information such as location data and browsing and search histories. This data collection threatens to allow the Chinese Communist Party access to Americans' personal and proprietary information, potentially allowing China to track the locations of federal employees and contractors, build dossiers of personal information for blackmail, and conduct corporate espionage. Like I said, executive order from Donald J. Trump, August 2020. But now, right before his inauguration, TikTok welcomed back users to the platform on Sunday, about 14 hours after it abruptly shut itself down minutes before a nationwide ban took effect, a reversal prompted by President-elect Donald Trump's promise to halt the ban when he takes office Monday by extending a deadline for China-based ByteDance to sell the app. Here's his post on Truth Social. "I'm asking companies not to let TikTok stay dark. I will issue an executive order on Monday to extend the period of time before the law's prohibitions take effect so that we can make a deal to protect our national security. The order will also confirm that there will be no liability for any company that helped keep TikTok from going dark before my order. Americans deserve to see our exciting inauguration on Monday, as well as other events and conversations." Listen to this. "I would like the United States to have a 50% ownership position in a joint venture. By doing this, we save TikTok, keep it in good hands, and allow it to stay up." I'm sure it's supposed to say stay up. "Without United States approval, there is no TikTok. With our approval, is worth hundreds of billions of dollars, maybe trillions." So now it went from sell TikTok to America can have 50% of it. Therefore, listen to this. Therefore, my initial thought is a joint venture between the current owners and or new owners whereby the United States gets a 50% ownership in a joint venture set up between the United States and whichever purchase we so choose. So we should have known that this was brewing once the TikTok CEO said that, I mean, once it was decided that he was going to be up there with the other tech bros, the Broligarchy that is coming. Now, I want to show y'all something because we already know what is in the works. We already have seen what President Musk has done to Twitter when he changed it to X. We already see that Mark Zuckerberg is kissing the ring of Trump. Look at this. I just made a video that is titled, What is the Oligarchy? And I get this message right before I start making this video that my video was disqualified from the Creator Rewards program. Why? For misinformation. I literally ask the question, what is the oligarchy? I give an actual definition. And then I read an article talking about the oligarchy 2.0 that is coming with these tech bros or the Broligarchy. And then all of a sudden, my video is disqualified and I'm using an actual definition in a news article. That is where we're going with this. We are about to enter, we are in an era of misinformation and disinformation. And propaganda is very important for fascism. It's a very important tenet of fascism. And now that we see that all of these tech bros are in cahoots with each other and with Trump, it's going to be a scary ride because they are in control of what information gets shared. At the time that I'm posting this video, my video is still disqualified, but I did put in an appeal. I'll drop in the comment section if I win the appeal or not. But as of right now, it's still disqualified. Anyways, let me know what you think of all of this. Join the conversation. Watch my video on what is the oligarchy. And let me know what you think and where you think we're going with the United States and these tech bros that are basically pulling the puppet strings and or just working with Donald Trump to keep money within the billionaire and decamillionaire class's hands. Join the conversation, like, comment, and share. Biden mentioned the oligarchy in his farewell speech, and the searches went off the chain because people were trying to figure out what the oligarchy was. The oligarchy is a small group of people having control of a country, organization, or institution. And we already know that there are billions of dollars have already poured into the Trump administration. We already see that his nominees and his President Musk, have already spent millions upon millions of dollars, and they're collectively worth billions, maybe even trillions at this particular juncture. And that's literally what we have, a small group of people having control of this country. That's what we are. That's what we have moved into. It's no longer we the people. We the people have long been gone. And they did this right in front of our face. And so many people voted for this on purpose. They saw what President Musk was doing and they still bought into it. And then once we saw Mark Zuckerberg take the knee and kiss the ring, and now we see the TikTok CEO, he's up on that stage with them. It's going to be the next 4 years is going to be interesting. And one of the necessary ingredients for fascism is propaganda. And now that we have all of these social media platforms that have bought into the country, into the government, they're going to be using these social media platforms, which obviously I am a part of, to push their propaganda. I will be pushing, trying to fact check things, but that's what the oligarchy is. So here's an article from ABC News talking about the Oligarchy 2.0, or what I like to call the Broligarchy. Experts weigh in on whether Biden's warnings about the wealthy are justified. President Joe Biden's farewell address included a stark warning about the danger of what he called abuses by the ultra-wealthy, particularly what he called the tech industrial complex. Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of a tech industrial complex that could pose real dangers for our country as well. Biden's remarks comes as Donald Trump has strengthened ties with big tech executives such as President Musk, co-chair of his made-up government commission to recommend spending cuts, as well as Amazon's Jeff Bezos and Meta's Mark Zuckerberg. Trump has invited all three powerful CEOs to his Monday swearing-in ceremony, now moved to be inside the Capitol Rotunda, and also the CEO of TikTok will be amongst all of these men. Historians and economic experts told ABC News that Biden's warnings echoes a long-building problem that people on both sides of the aisle are already sensing. When you have the three richest men in the country on the dais, you cannot overlook how much influence the billionaire has on the government. Sarah Anderson, Global Economy Project Director for the nonprofit research group Institute for Policy Studies, told ABC News. This picture will always be hilarious to me, how he's putting on his glasses and how orange his makeup is, but white and pink his lips are. This picture will always be hysterical to me. It says, while it's too early to determine how the public will respond to Biden's warning, the experts who spoke with ABC News contended that history has shown that Americans have traditionally pushed back against oligarchies, and in some instances, businesses have been forced to scale back their influence with government and political leaders to escape economic consequences. Daniel Kinderman, associate professor of political science at the University of Delaware, who has researched how businesses respond to right-wing populism, has said current income inequality in the United States constitutes oligarchic conditions. Since the late 2000s, the top 1% of Americans, roughly 3 million people, have owned upwards of 1/3 of the wealth and capital in our country. It's now about 35%. The bottom 50% of Americans, which is about 150 million people, own 1.5% of wealth. Biden likened the current situation to the robber barons and industrial monopolies of the 19th century. Trump, House Speaker MAGA Mike Johnson, and other leaders on Capitol Hill have welcomed the alliances with tech CEOs, particularly President Musk, contending that their ideas will help make the government more efficient. While acknowledging the corporate elite has always influenced government, Kinderman noted that the country is now in uncharted territory because the current top CEOs have more control over the public discourse. There is a sense in the business community that there should be efficiency and the government should have that same goal, he said. There definitely is a role there for the CEOs, but what you don't want is for them to write their own rules that just benefit their own industry. And here we have Mark Zuckerberg, who has kissed the ring for Donald Trump. Musk and Zuckerberg have scaled back and removed content moderation tools against misinformation on their social media sites, X and Facebook, following criticism from Trump, who was banned from their platforms after the January 6th failed insurrection by a pro-Trump mob on the United States Capitol. In recent interviews, they have also expressed more conservative viewpoints. Bezos and other CEOs have come under fire for removing DEI, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, a target for conservative scorn. This is Oligarchy 2.0, Kinderman said. It's kind of a turbocharged technological oligarchy that has control over the media and technology. Jonathan Hansen, a political scientist and lecturer in statistics at the University of Michigan's Gerald R. Ford School of Public Policy, told ABC News that Musk's deep involvement with Trump, from the campaign trail to his appointment to the fake DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, which is fake, the outside advisory board aimed at cutting government waste, has been largely unprecedented. The fate of government agencies and billions in spending could be in the hands of Musk and fellow businessman Vivek Ramaswamy, he noted. This goes beyond influence. This is close control to government matters to someone who wasn't elected, Hansen said. It's not that he was elected. He paid for this presidency. That's the worrisome part. Hansen and other experts warned that the consequences are not going unnoticed, especially among those who voted for Trump. Public pushback inevitable. While Trump and the tech CEOs, or the tech bros, have not immediately responded to Biden's speech and warning, early search early search data indicate it has sparked interest in oligarchies. Google searches for the term oligarchy rose sharply after Biden's speech and have remained higher than usual throughout the week, according to data from the search engine. Listen to this part. 8 of the 10 states that saw the most rise in searches for oligarchy as of Friday afternoon were Republican red states, including Wyoming, Arizona, and Oklahoma, according to Google data, just like the people who decided to Google tariffs after the election, after they had casted votes. It has gotten some attention across the political spectrum, Kinderman said of Biden's warning. It could have a bit of an impact, especially if things move in a direction that a lot of Americans perceive as problematic. It won't matter, though, because they're in charge right now. We just have to ride it out and figure out how we're going to survive. Hansen agreed, noting that exit polling has shown that many people who voted for Trump said they were most concerned about the cost of living and income inequality. Candidate Trump cast himself as the champion for the working class, or of the working class. If people actually believe that, then that's on them, because when has he really shown any kind of action that championed himself as the working class man? There are a lot of people who voted for Trump feeling the economy was better under his first term, and they will feel alienated by his allegiances if he continues his policies from the first administration that don't tackle inflation and benefit the CEO class. People will notice. New labor movement. During his speech, Biden noted that Americans stood up to oligarchs in the past by rising up and forming labor unions. They didn't punish the wealthy. They just made the wealthy play by the rules everybody else had to. Workers want rights to earn a fair share, he said. Anderson predicted similar pushback not only when it comes to organized labor movements, which she said has grown and gained support in the last few years, but also in consumer choices, something that could hurt CEOs' companies. So we know that that's VP Trump and Jeff Bezos on the ends, and the man in the middle is the CEO of Microsoft. So just lots of money right here on this at this table. She noted that over 250,000 people ended their Washington Post subscription after Bezos vetoed the paper's planned endorsement of VP Kamala Harris. Millions of social media users have fled Meta platforms and X for other social media sites since they rolled back their content moderation policies, according to Anderson. There is an aura around these billionaires, and when people connect the power of these oligarchs to the harmful impacts on everyday lives, people will change quickly, she said. How long will this alliance last? Kinderman said the real test will come if Trump or the Republican congressional leaders cross ethical lines that are perceived to harm the public. He noted that CEOs, including Musk and businesses backed out of Trump's strategic and policy firm in 2017 after he left the Paris Climate Agreement and after Trump's comments following the Charlottesville Unite the Right rally. It's anyone's guess, really, but will the administration's agenda clash with some powerful American business interests? It's quite radical, so I think it almost certainly will. Kinderman said the new oligarchs are in a strong position, and they seem to be allied with Trump, but that alliance could break. It's going to be interesting to watch because now, since this is Trump's final term, he could literally do whatever he wants. And many of the people that are going to be harmed will be his own constituents, his own MAGA base, because they are poor. They are poor, they're uneducated, and they voted for him thinking that he was going to help them. But he's not, because he's only helping himself and he's helping the wealthy class. Those of us that saw what was coming. Hopefully we're out here trying to prepare as best we can. We all have to live in this economy and we all have to live in this political climate. But I hope that the MAGA crowd get it worst and first. I hope they get everything that they voted for. And I hope that the rest of us are out here really trying to protect ourselves from what is coming. Anyways, join the conversation. Let me know what you think about all of this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.